Liam Hemsworth, Josh Hutcherson, Francis Lawrence e Jennifer Lawrence.
Qualsiasi cosa farò si ritorcerà su di te e sulla mamma. E io non voglio.
Dagli ultimi Hunger Games qualcosa è cambiato. Lo vedo.
Che cosa vedi?
Speranza.
I would love to have more in common with Katniss. I think I relate to her a lot. When, you know, I remember reading the first book when I was 19. I was going through my first award season, and she was, you know, being put in these strange clothes and hearing people talk about things she didn't understand, and I was like, I know how that feels. And then when she comes home to District 12 and she's kind of alienated, and everybody's treating her differently, like she doesn't belong anymore, but she doesn't feel any differently, and that is a very painful part of fame. As wonderful as my life and my job is, I have no complaints. But it is hard when people treat you differently, when you don't feel any differently. So I did relate to that.
Ci hai salvati, lo so, ma sono stanco di recitare per le telecamere per poi ignorarci nella vita reale.
Lei non è quello che credono. Deve essere eliminata.
Certo, ma nel modo giusto, al momento giusto.
Katniss in particular, she's someone who refuses to change. She refuses to give in to this evil force that wants her to be something she's not. And she says no, and regardless of whether it's her life at risk, she's willing to stand up for what she believes in, and it's something that Gale does, it's something that Peter does, it's all these real characters that, you know, enough's enough. It's refusing to give into it, and I think that's an important message for a lot of young people, and you know, I think that's why, you know, young girls look up to Katniss, and it inspires them and gives them courage, because, you know, they see that they can be themselves and they can stand up for what they believe in. So.
Dobbiamo andare prima che ci uccidano, perché ci uccideranno.
La gente vuole lottare. Io resto qui.
Lei si è battuta molto bene negli Hunger Games, ma erano giochi. Le piacerebbe una guerra vera? Migliaia di vittime fra la sua gente, i suoi cari morti.
Che cosa devo fare?
Being able to help tell these stories was really exciting to me, just because of what the source material brought into the world. You know, Suzanne Collins really did something interesting, and she had an idea to tell a story about the consequence of war and the consequence of violence to teenagers. And she didn't treat them like children, and I think that helped aid the fact that teenagers then really started to soak it up, and it crossed over into the adult world. But the amazing thing is that it became this phenomenon, and you have this, or we have this ability to tell these stories that people around the world are going to see in droves. And for it to actually have some meaning and be something and have reflections in it of the world that we live in, couldn't be more exciting to me.
Questo è il 75esimo anno degli Hunger Games. I tributi saranno scelti tra i vincitori ancora in vita.
Katniss! Potevo solo dirti addio! Katniss!
Cosa faccio io?
You know, I think one of the coolest things about being an actor is being able to tell interesting, unique stories, and with great characters and characters that develop in very real ways, and a lot of times you find that more in the indie world and the indie type movies, and which I love so much. And then to find a story like this that has such a mass appeal and is such a complex story with such core values and themes throughout about love and family and fighting for what you believe in, you know, it's a rare thing, and so for me to be a part of it, it's absolutely incredible. And the fans for the Hunger Games have been so supportive from day one. And really, they give us so much energy and drive to keep on going when we're on these victory tours of ours that are very tiring. So it's amazing to be a part of it, really.
Pronta a lavorare?
When I first read read the books, I was really happy that a character and a role model like this existed for not only a younger generation, but for everybody. I was incredibly inspired by her. As far as responsibility, I mean, absolutely. When people are listening to you and watching you, you have a choice in what you want them to hear. So I do feel an amount of responsibility.
Ricorda chi è il vero nemico.